Yo, welcome to the Neighborhood Couch, man. It's your boy Yappa. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be your host. Alongside, I got my boy Musa. It's going to be your co-host. I got my boy Timmy here.
What's going on?
You know what I'm saying? Coming to you from Buff right now, Basically, man, our podcast is just about, inspiring the youth, inspiring everybody out there, anybody that's in, I would say, like what, Timmy, in the business field, creatives, anybody that do anything out there, you know what I'm saying? Basically, we just want to be words of encouragement to you. And as we move further, man, we're going to have guests. We're going to have people that own small businesses, people that paint, people that take photos, people that, models, you know what I'm saying? Bring them on here to just share their story on our platform, you know what I mean, and inspire the youth. That's really our goal, man. And but yeah, without further ado, I'm gonna let my boy Ahmed, you know what I mean, tell you a little bit about himself, and then after that, we're gonna go to my boy Timmy.
Ahmed, I'm a third culture kid, so we just start this podcast to like give out the right information, bring people on here that would give you information to like get started on what you're trying to do, or just look forward to things that you enjoy and find happiness in. So it's gonna be a good run, I think.
It's your boy Timmy. Pretty much what Yappa said, this podcast is really just to like inspire people that may watch this,
Right.
motivate,
Right.
and just like overall just good vibes,
Yeah, man.
conversations that, you might want to have, but you may not have it. This is what the podcast is about, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. So pull up on us, man. Listen, pull up on us anytime. DM us on Instagram if you want to be a guest. All right. So, the platform is open, man. It's open to anybody and everybody. It's the Neighborhood Couch. So we're open to the neighborhood. You heard? So, hey, feel free to come on here and share your story. Come on here and inspire it, man. And but yeah. So Timmy, right now, what do you have going on? Like as far as like, what are you working on? What do you do? Tell the people about like what you do a little bit.
Okay, so I do photography. I do a little bit of videography, but my main thing is really just taking pictures.
Okay.
I just did a North Face photo shoot like a few days ago.
Okay.
That went crazy. It was at school. I go to Buff State, by the way.
Okay.
This is my last year. Yeah, man, just constant work. I just really focusing on just creating content.
Yeah.
As much as possible, even including like this podcast. I'm just trying to stay busy and
Right.
just
What year are you in right now, Buff State?
I'm a senior at
You're
Buff
senior.
State.
So it's your last year.
Yeah, it's my last year.
How's the biddies at Buff State, man? How's the biddies, man?
Biddies? They cool. They cool.
They cool?
They fun.
Yeah.
You gonna have a good time with them and stuff like that. It's mad shit going on, so you
Yeah.
always gonna meet new people, which is good. It's a diverse school. And that's what I wanted when I first came there. So it's dope. I like the environment.
All right. So
sure.
so you're in the community. You like in that creative community then, you would say?
Yeah, I'm
Right.
in that creative community.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Well, we look forward to, we look forward to
sure.
seeing what you could take, or your skills, I'm
For
sure
sure.
you're gonna take it to the heights. So
Yes, sir. For
you know
sure.
what I mean? I've been knowing you since you was a shorty, so it's good to be on the platform with you and to be able to like create.
Yeah, man, I'm excited, for
Right.
what the future is going to hold for
Yeah.
all three of us, We all got that creative mind,
Facts.
so
Yeah.
whatever we got in our minds, we just put it out there, and we just know that shit going to be dope, so.
Yeah.
Plus, we got everybody rocking with us, so.
That's facts.
I
That's
like that.
facts. We got Mr. Good Taste, you know what I'm saying? So everybody know him. But listen though, tell us a little bit about, your like upbringing. And I'm not talking about in America. I'm talking about back home.
Back home.
Like let's go back, cause you know what I mean. Like we
Yeah.
need to go to the roots, man. You know what I'm saying? Cause I got some information on you. I know some things.
So
You went to a private school.
This my brother right here. We from similar country. Like I was born in Liberia, where he was born, but I have one of my parents is from Sierra Leone, which is like the same West Africa country. It's closer to Liberia.
Yeah.
My upbringing was smooth. I can't complain. It was smooth till the war started in Africa. So
Yeah.
in Sierra Leone, in Liberia,
Yeah.
which I survived both of them. Thank God.
Right.
I made it this far, but I had a good upbringing. I could say that I had parents that taught me values and morals and things that I took took with me to the States, like, and it helped me navigate the way I move in my everyday life.
Everyday life, yeah.
Yeah, dealing with my friends and just everyday people. And through my upbringing, make me meet a lot of good friends like Yap and all my other friends that I have in my corner and stuff. But yeah.
Denzel right now, who's behind the cameras.
Mm-hmm.
We love Denzel.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But like, you know what I'm saying? These questions are both for y'all. Like, what's the impact, like, being an immigrant? You know what I'm saying? Like, coming to America, right? And we came here young.
Yeah.
So like, how was it? Like, what were some of the struggles you would say? Like, like what were some of the advantages and disadvantages you would say?
The advantage was like you not knowing, you naive to everything.
Yeah.
So it's like it keep you in a safe space, but still put you in dangers. We made some stupid mistake because we didn't know what was going on. But the advantage is like that African upbringing, like which is not a gentle parenting. It's kind of tough. Like your neighbors can discipline you, so when you in the States, you move different, not knowing people don't even care what you do over here. The neighbor's not gonna say nothing to you, but you so worried about the neighbor not telling your parent, and you moving in setting light till you realize like that's not how it work, and your mindset shift, which is not a good thing too at the same time, but it helps a lot. It helps I see how every one of us move when we got here.
Right.
Just like we had a whole different playing field. We look at the older people different, and we look peers different. So it was like it was an equal balance. But it helped us like navigate how we
a little bit. Yeah. That's what's up. I know for you, Timmy, I know you was born here.
Yeah.
You was born here, so it's a little bit different. Being born here, I know there's still that pressure because your parents are, from the motherland. So they're gonna raise you like you was born in the motherland. You know what I'm saying? How would you say like that impacted you as far as like, coming up? So like there was some negatives and positives.
Negatives. All right. So some negatives, like when I was coming up, like I'd say like I couldn't really go out a lot.
Yeah.
I was like I'd say like me growing up with like a strict mom kind of made me a little sneaky. I used to always run to a med crib when I was younger. Yeah. Play on his little PlayStation, shit like that. But that's one of the not a disadvantage, but I'll say like
at the time,
looking back now, it was like it wasn't so bad because it prevented a lot of shit, especially when we was coming up, like people was dying left and right. So
Buffalo was a little rough.
Yeah, Buffalo was a little rough coming up.
Yeah, but, it's a lot different now.
Yeah, it's a lot different.
Yeah. Did you play sports in like middle school or anything?
Yeah. So 7th, 8th grade, I played AAU basketball. I didn't play modified because I went to like a predominantly like white middle school. Okay. So I feel like me personally, they cut me because I was black, but I had skill.
Yo, they cut you, bro. You wasn't good enough.
Nah, I went and played AAU though, so I was traveling. I was shitting on my classmates. I was like, I'm going to Rochester this weekend. Y'all niggas gonna be in Buffalo. Okay. But high school, I ended up just playing ball. Okay. And then I think my junior year, I did 1 year of track. So that's pretty much what I did,
Fire. Yo, Musa, I know when it comes to sports, you know what I'm saying, we had our run-ins. You know what, we let go. I don't even want to go there today. I don't think I'm ready for that right now. Save that for the long run, man. It's going to be on another episode. Stay with us. We're going to talk about that whole, you know what I'm saying, situation. But yo, Musa, I want to ask you though, like, bro, what kind of impact did like playing sports in high school, had on you as far as like being an immigrant? What kind of impact did it have? Like
impact. Yeah. It kept me out of trouble. Okay. Kept me disciplined. Yeah. And just the love for the sports itself kept me going. Like waking up at 5 a.m. going to work out on my own with nobody telling me what to do, just doing it because I wanted to play at a high level. Yeah. And stuff like that.
And you played soccer.
Yeah, right? I did play soccer like 4 years in high school. Which was like it was pretty good for me too. It kept me in shape. It kept me. Yeah. It was different playing sports in the States because you get to like back home people playing in front of fans. Here I'm playing. The fans is my next teammate. Yeah. So, but it was still fun. We had a good run. Yeah. Me and George got a history. He lost his senior year to me, so it's okay. I'm just trying to take it there early.
He took it in. He took it. I didn't want to go there, but it's all right.
Damn, I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
That's
you know.
crazy.
But Musa was nice though. You did get a full ride.
We're not going to talk about that on this podcast.
You got a full ride. You got a full ride to Niagara University.
What position you played?
What happened?
I had a full ride to Niagara University, and the coach hit me up to come check out the school. I went out there with my dad, and I checked it out.
Yeah.
It sounds lame as fuck, but I was like, man, I ain't going to the school. I go to the school, I'm going to be a lame-ass nigga.
Okay.
So it's like I switched my mind. I decided to go to an inner-city college, which is, I think it was best for me. At the end of the day, it worked out for me best because I did what I wanted to do, build friendship, and I think just knowing me, because I'm easily addicted to things, so I'm happy I didn't take that chance, because I would have been in a space of like, I don't want to say lame was the wrong word, but I think I won't have been this well balanced.
Yeah.
Like the
But
way
you follow
I
your
moved.
heart. You know what I mean? You
Yeah, I
did
follow
what
my
you-
heart.
you
I
did what
think
you wanted to do.
definitely my heart led me in
Yeah.
that direction. And I didn't. It's lame, not lame. Why I keep saying lame? As weird as it sound, I didn't want to lose. I didn't want to leave my friends.
Yeah.
Like my friends wasn't going nowhere, but I just didn't want to leave them. Like so, I just like
Yeah.
I kind of like stayed, because that was like my friends was like my family to me, like everything. Because it's like we all just grew up to. We hang like. We was like we hang out every day.
We did. We
Like
did.
every day was no like a day in between.
You ain't want to leave the hood. He was a hood nigga.
Yeah. No, I
He was a hood
wasn't
nigga. He didn't want to leave the hood. He didn't want to leave the hood and go to Niagara University. Niagara University was right up the street.
It was, but you didn't go there to check it out with me. That shit was a dead zone.
Yeah.
I didn't
was
get
no-
accepted to any
Bro,
college.
It was 3 black people on campus when I checked it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just know I was fresh off the boat.
Damn. Yo, tell me though. Okay, as far as you, what prompted you to go to Buff State? Why Buff State? Why did you go there?
For one, it was close to the crib.
Close to the crib.
Two-
Again, right? I don't want to leave home.
Yeah, I didn't want to go far, because it was just my mom's.
Yeah.
I didn't want her to be sad or missing me too hard. So going to Buff State, it was like perfect, because they had what I wanted to go to school for. It was diverse. I was gonna meet mad people, and it was like everything I was looking for. And I felt like I was gonna grow more like as a person going to Buff State, rather than if I went to like a school like Niagara or like Bonnie's.
Yeah.
Because I had those options to go there, but I was like, let me stay close to the crib, because
close to the crib.
nobody
But-
likes to stay close to the crib.
Yeah, but G, we're not gonna leave you out too, because I remember you pack your bag, man. I thought you was leaving. We gotta talk about it, baby.
Yeah.
Yo, I did. I did. I did, and then I unpacked. I couldn't do it. I just couldn't. I wasn't ready.
Yeah.
I wasn't ready. I didn't want to leave my mom.
I think low key, every one of us was spoiled because of our parents. Niggas didn't want to leave, man. I was eating good ass African food. I was thinking about that shit every day. If I leave, who gonna make me something?
I got the cold feet, man. To tell you the truth, I was just like, man, I don't know what's gonna happen if I leave. I got accepted into Monroe, right?
Monroe, yeah, I remember it.
And I was like, man, I don't know. It was for to play ball, to play soccer, so football. But I didn't go in either, so I stayed here. You know what I mean? But
We didn't want to leave our parents.
yeah, it turned out well.
Yeah,
I think it turned out well for all of us. You know what I mean? One thing I want to talk about though, like, what are some of the huge differences we see in Buffalo right now? Because we've been here for like, me and you been here for over 20 years.
Yeah.
So we've seen it.
Don't put me in your book.
We've seen that. We've seen the involvement. We've seen the evolve. You know what I'm saying? Seeing Buffalo evolve. We've seen we see things that we never thought we would have saw.
I think I'm proud to be from Buffalo, or just seeing the growth of Buffalo. Period.
Yeah.
It's like infrastructure, and like I think everything is getting developed in Buffalo, but it's still like environmental racism is still going on. I don't like to talk about it.
Yeah.
It's like we see our neighborhoods getting neglect and like not being a part of like the new growth in Buffalo, but Buffalo come a long way, like from sports to like to just the city itself, like how everything is changing. It's like I think personally the only thing Buffalo need is like few young people and the city development, and we'll be good.
Yeah.
I just think that's what the city is lacking, because you could tell from like city development, how things is being run. It's no young people in that department. I'm sure. I'm not. Let me not say that because I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's still older people overseeing it. So it's gonna take some young people to change, bring fun to the city. The city is money being poured into the city right now, but it's no fun. It's nothing to do in the city. It's really nothing to do. So
that's true.
I think if we have some young people in the city development, we can have some fun stuff to do.
And that's what we look to the young dudes like Timmy and them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, do you plan on staying in Buff after you're done with college?
Yeah, I do plan on staying in Buffalo, but it's not really like a
set in stone kind of thing.
Yeah, it's not really like a if opportunities are here, I would love to stay, But we'll just see what happens.
You got to create the opportunity, bro.
Yeah.
And everything is here. Listen, so there's this guy. I'm gonna tell you a quick story before we because we got to go back on the whole the evolvement of Buffalo. But there's this guy, right? So there was this guy. I'm gonna tell you guys a quick story off subject.
Okay.
There's this guy. So he said he wanted to go look for gold, right? He said he wanted to get rich, he wanted to be the richest man in the world, right? And somebody was like, "Yo, down this place, in this other state, is where everybody's going, and that's where the gold is at." So he was like, "All right." So he packed up his family, sold his house or whatever. He was like, "Yo, we're going to that state." You know what I'm saying? So his wife was like, "You sure?" He's like, "Yeah, we're going there." Like, okay, all the opportunities over here. So he goes over there, and everybody is coming to the city, right? This city is everybody's coming here because they said there's gold here, right? And the guy so they go over there and they're digging for gold. They're looking for whatever they're looking for. And the guy who bought his house, right? The guy was also looking for gold. And the reason why he bought his house, because this guy that sold his house, he sold it for so cheap that the guy was just like, "Yo, this is gold. This is the opportunity. Let me just take it." You know what I'm saying? So he goes to the house, and then come to find out, right? This guy, his house was sitting on
deposit.
All the gold.
Wow.
All the gold in the world. You feel me? This house was sitting on banks, millions of dollars. But, he couldn't claim it now because he sold the crib.
Right, he sold the
so
crib.
Just an example, you know what I'm saying? You never know where you're saying that.
Right.
Buffalo been a gold mine for over 20 years, and a lot of people didn't know.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? You create your opportunity wherever you go. And the opportunity is within, you know what I'm saying?
I just feel like a lot of people that's my age, my peers, they just badmouth the city so much.
Yeah.
And I feel like it low key kind of for people that hear that, it might change their views on the city.
Yeah.
And this not to cut you guys, I think it's deeply rooted too, because it's I think growing up living in Africa for a period of time and moving to Buffalo too, it's you get to see why people do that. So it's Buffalo have this because it's such a small city, so you have this African mindset too, which I can say because it's most people that get jobs and certain things in Buffalo is through a family member who they know. They're not qualified for the job. When I mean qualified for the job, it's not because of degree or anything.
Right.
Some of them do have degrees, but their friend can be like, "Oh, I know this person. He got a degree in psychology, but working in a law firm." Right. It's or doing. Let me not say that because it's not gonna. But it's just in city planning or in different things. It's just they put people in places that they're not supposed to be. Right. So it's it hold the city back because they're not getting the right people for the right jobs. Right. I think once Buffalo start putting the right people in the right place for the right job, not because I know you, because it's a small city.
Yeah.
If you know someone, you could get. I've seen people get jobs because of they know someone and they got hired. So it's I think that's what the city need to change, and it would be. I think Buffalo have a lot of potential.
Yeah. It does, and the people that are bad mouthing the city or bad mouthing,
they're not trying to work
situation. That's okay, right? Let them do that. You know what I mean? But it does get to a certain point where when you're doing something in this city where it's it feel it's time now to go to the next level.
Right.
But I think a lot of the time people make excuses just so they don't get started. Right. You know what I mean? Because I feel regardless of where you are in the world, you can get started on something. You can get started, bro. So if you're saying, "Oh, I'm in a small city and it's it's like that, so I won't get started," nah, you're just making excuses. Right. You know what I mean? And I would like to encourage everybody out there who wants to start something, and just feel Buffalo is too small. Go for it, man. It don't matter, bro. I started my business with $5,600. That's when I bought my first real estate. property, and that was back in 2013, 14. You feel me? Yeah. Like so. Like, and so you know what I mean? Anything is possible. You know what I mean? Get started. You know what I mean? Don't make try not. I would like to encourage you to discourage you in a way. Like I want you to discourage yourself as to like making excuses. Like discourage that behavior, discourage that mindset.
It's saying things that you do want to do. You could go out of town and try to figure it out, and then the certain things that you could do in Buffalo. It's like. We have to use this mindset. It's like, this is your hometown. You could go out of town and soak in knowledge. And because this podcast is all about information, you could go out of town and get the right information and bring it back to the city. Yeah. Let me say, for example, if you look around the world or you look around different cities, they get developed because people leave their city and went to different cities and see things that they like and they bring it back and implement it. Right. So I think that's one of the ways you could look at it, like to take Buffalo. Like, especially in our community, I'm speaking, I don't want to, like, have a division, but I'm talking about mostly in our community. When I mean our community, black, brown, and whatever. But in our community, I think that's one of the ways we can implement ourselves or implement things in our community. Go places, soak up the knowledge, bring it back, reach out to city people and let them know we trying to do this. Like, look at this facility. Like, it's in our neighborhood. Right. So we got to take those things into consideration, like how can we develop our neighborhood? What can we do as a city, as the citizens of the city, instead of complaining and being like, oh, I can go over there and get gold, like George was saying. And gold is everywhere. I started my brand in Buffalo when nobody was doing T-shirts. Yeah. It wasn't even a common thing to see. It was like rock bands. Right. Rock bands was doing T-shirts, and at that time, when you had a rap group or you had a rock band, you do your merch and shit. I started when nobody was doing it, but I didn't even look at it because nobody wasn't doing clothes in Buffalo. Right. I told myself I wanted to have a clothing line. I did it. Yeah, that's another thing to touch on, man. You are one of the few, the first to do it. But I want, before we even jump into that, I want to like the struggle and like the stigma we faced as young dudes who was just like, in a way, kind of like ahead of the fashion time. In a way, right? Like ahead of your with time. The tight jeans. Yeah. We was wearing tight jeans. We was wearing ACGs. You put me on to ACGs. You know what I mean? Like, I want to talk about that, like that era, like the backlash that we faced. Like, yeah, it was tough growing up, but I think most of the time me and Biz talking that to him, we have the Sean Oliver syndrome. Like, yeah. Because we see things ahead of time. And it's like, I always say this shit, like, majority of people see purple and there's few people that see yellow. So it's like you're the singular person. People will look at you different. And the one thing I noticed, like, growing up in the States, it got to be, people are naturally followers. Yeah. Like, so growing up back home, I'm not saying people, it's not followers, but people are not bred to be famous. When we was growing up, I never heard you say you want to be famous. Facts. Because of your upbringing. It's always about do your work, go to school, and get a career. So it's like nobody's caring about what other people are doing in the sense of like, I'm about to follow you because you're doing that. You're trying to focus on your own end. So when you grew up in a country that's like few or like push with like celebrities or like trying to be famous, everybody gonna follow. Right. So it's like, because everybody want the same light that the next person is getting because they see the benefits they get from it. You can't blame them. So it's like the benefits they get from it. So it's like us coming here and we was different, dressing different. It was new. So it's like people, they looked at us weird or think, oh, they're gay or some shit. But as time goes, we did get that. Yeah, time goes on. We did get that. Time goes on, people follow, and that's what it is. And I think me personally, I'm happy for the growth of Buffalo when it comes down to like big time, big time, just fashion, how people look at things now. I think a lot of people in Buffalo have an open mind. Yeah. Nah, when it comes down to things, they just don't jump. I mean, because it's a new generation, though. We also got to realize, too, like, it's a whole new Timmy, like, you know what I'm saying? He's young. His generation, they're the creators. Like, the internet generation. The internet generation, the YouTube generation. So that's kind of fire. Like, but what were one of the things that, like, what was one of the things that inspired you to start? Because I know your first clothing line was Fresh Dogs. Yeah. Like,
Just touch on that a little bit. Like, what inspired you to start? Because you was the first person to start a clothing line in Buffalo.
Yeah, but heavily
street clothing.
Heavily, you know me. I always been an internet nigga.
That's true.
So I used to like have you guys come to the house. We watch like British music and stuff.
Yeah.
MySpace. So I just saw it everywhere else, but in the States, like kids in London would have their own brand. Like a rapper would be like, would drop a mixtape and he would make a whole merch towards the mixtape.
Yeah.
And I was into clothing heavy. Like it's just all that other people care about everything. That's all I cares about. Like people cares about basketball. If it wasn't about soccer, it was about clothes.
Yeah.
Right? And that's all I care about. So I was like, you know what? Let me try to bring something to life. So I hit up my boy and we worked on the first merch and we brought it to life. Luckily, Tosa was around. Big Toast. Toast was one of the first guys to come along, put money behind the brand. Shout out to Toast. And we did what we had to do, and it's a history. Like, we did what we had to do.
And it just kept going on, going up from there. Yeah. That's fire. I remember we went to Toronto.
We did. Toronto was the beginning of it.
That was the beginning of it.
In Toronto, we went to Toronto. We did a T-shirt that said, I love Africa.
I love Africa.
And that was the beginning.
Yeah, I love Africa. It was it. We came back to Buff and
I didn't know about that.
Everybody,
so Toronto really sparked it.
Toronto sparked it, man. Carabana, man. Shout out to Carabana.
It was this T-shirt place that they pressed vinyl before.
It was on King Street. I remember. It was on King Street. And then one of the reasons why we did it was because so we get to Toronto.
We was proud to be African.
We get to Toronto, right, and we see everybody have a flag because we everybody have a flag. Everybody had a flag. Yeah. So we're like, all right, we need something to represent us in our country.
Right.
So we're like, all right, what can we do that's just gonna represent our continent overall? You know what I mean? Because like you said, you was born in Sierra Leone. Your mom.
We had different people in our group from different countries.
Right. Was Tenel there?
It
was me and you.
It was me. Tenel wasn't there. It was me, you, Gennaro, Tosa.
Yeah, me and you, Gennaro, Tosa. Yeah, so Gennaro is from Sudan. Right. You know what I'm saying? Where's Tosa from?
Togo.
Tosa's from Togo. Yeah. So we're like, you know what? We gonna get a shirt that represent the continent. That way everybody's included. Yeah. So we go into this little shop. You know what I mean? We talk to the guy. He's like, I love everyone. I love Africa. So it's like I love and then the African map.
Like the I love New York. Right?
Yeah, like the I love New York. Yeah,
African map with all the countries and the names in it too.
The names in it.
So, but before we even got to Toronto, it was just this. When we got here, I met George because he was from Liberia. So it was easy. George was one of the first people I met because we're from the same country. So we have this. The Liberians used to have events, so we all be there. So we just had this sense of pride of being from Africa. It was like when other people was around here telling people they're from Jamaica, different places. We was very proud to be African. It was like, me and George was having a conversation one day in my house, this before even Tosa came along. It was like, yo, man, we gotta make Africa cool.
Right. Gotta make it.
Yeah, so we already cool. How can we make Africa cool? So we decided to call ourselves AJT.
African Juice Team, man.
So that's my initials and shit. My name is A.
At the time, I used to call me Josh. That was my nickname. So if you know me from the hood when I used to live on Broadway, Josh. You know what I'm saying? Josh.
And Tenel. So it was just like AJT, African Juice Team, and we just ran with it. We put it on pictures, we put it on our hats and shit. We were just some proud African niggas.
I met Josh Tenel, AJT, African Juice Team.
That's my creative.
Yeah, and we just ran with it, bro. Like I've always been proud to say I'm from Africa and to say I'm from Buffalo, because one of the challenges I had in college was based because of how we dressed. Dudes from the city always thought we was from the city. Okay. Yeah, so they would be like, "Oh, what part of the city you from? Are you from the city?" And I always took that as an offense.
Right.
I'm like, "No, I'm not from the city, man. I'm from Buffalo." You know what I mean? What you trying to say? Buffalo men can dress? Right. No, I'm originally from West Africa, but I grew up here. This is where I'm from. I'm not from the city. So I was always proud to rep Buffalo. I always loved Buffalo. Since day one, bro. I always loved this place. And I always saw the opportunity in this place. And just to see where it's going now, to see places like Legacy House, to be able to be here and host our podcast, to see all these creatives coming into fruition. And you know what I mean? Just to see the change, man, it's pretty dope to see the developments. Buildings that we would drive by, you know what I mean, for the last 15, 20 years, bro, they're now condos.
Right.
So it's fire. You know what I mean? It's really good to see that, and I hope like more people move out here, and like we just continue to like evolve. But like another thing is like there is a lot of clothing line now. There is a lot of clothing line out there.
It's a lot of
everybody have a brand.
Everybody do, which is not. It's not a negative thing to it, but at the same time,
what tip would you give him? What tip would you give him to
I think people just need to put in more effort, developing the brand, coming up with good concept.
Yeah.
It's not just throwing words on T-shirts and thinking it's gonna take you to the next level. I think people forget everything you have to develop. You have to put time and effort. And if you want to be a good basketball player, you have to put time and effort. And if you want to be a good football player, you have to put time and effort in it.
Yeah.
Anything you want to do. So it's like I think people get this idea or just everything lost in the internet phase because you could put out a T-shirt, and if you're loud enough and push it, you would get that buzz for the meantime, but it's not gonna last because it's like you're gonna make that few bucks and
you gotta drop something else.
Not even drop something else, and after that you don't know what to go. You get stuck.
Yeah,
you get stuck, or the idea look repetitive. It looked like everything on the internet. Like everybody, even right now with the idea of the Y2K little Scullies, like everybody doing those, and it's like sometimes you gotta find ways to like invent yourself to make yourself look not stand out in the sense of because everything that's being done has already been done, but how can you reintroduce it to people?
Yeah, reinvent it.
So I think people just need to put time and effort into their brands.
As far as brand wise, that's definitely a good.
Because just to see, at first when I started seeing it, I was looking at it like because sometimes when you do see things when it's just getting a lot, you want to look at it in a negative way. But then I started looking at it. You know what? These is young men and young women that are trying to step outside and do something different.
Yeah.
But everybody don't need to do it. If you see your friend doing it, maybe you need to just be a team. And I think that's one of the things we lost in our community. We don't know how to be a team. Like you could give somebody 5% and it could change the way they work with you. So it's like build a team instead of everybody, like 6, 7 friends that hang out together that all have different brands. Like I think if you develop one brand, then you move to the next, to the next, to the next, and it makes sense. Because then maybe we could look at it like for the guys that we grew up on, like Kanye and Virgil, like Jerry Lorenzo, all those niggas, Heron Preston, they hang together, but it was one at a time.
Yeah.
Like while they was developing their brand. So
yeah,
I think that's what people have to look
but
at.
I also think it's good though. Like even though it is like even though I do agree people should like create that community, work together, build something, and then like you said, have your little side things. I also think like everybody having their thing. There is like we can look at it as we can see the positive in it as well. Yeah. Like because if you have your own thing, then you're the CEO, you're everything for that brand. So now you're learning things about being a leader. You're learning things about being a business owner that you probably wouldn't have learned if you had started with a team in a way. You know what I'm saying? We can say that. But then you also learn a lot of different things. You learn your strength, and then if it doesn't work, then it doesn't, right?
Yeah.
But there is also that little positive aspect of like having your own thing. But then also you should be open to working with other people and supporting other people. You just shouldn't be just locked in on just yours, right? Because if you want other people to support you, you got to support them.
Yeah, that's
the only thing I would say. Like, definitely support everybody if you want everybody to support you.
Because I think that's one of the things that would take any business forward. It's like the idea of like people having their own stuff is a great idea, but working as a team. Because if you look at it from outside, any industry, it's always built on team. Yeah, it's always built on like, how can we move this project forward? That's why they have project manager. They have like even if you're on the set of a film, like they have different people that run the different things. I think most brand these days they don't have that. It'd be a single guy running every aspect of the brand. Right. It's like you learning those things, but you're gonna get burnt out. Yeah, you're gonna get burnt out, and it's gonna show because at the end of the day, it's gonna show in the work. I've been there.
Yeah, you're speaking from experience.
Yeah, I've been there. It's gonna show through the work.
Yeah,
because when you have people working from different aspects, sometimes it take the weight off your shoulder. Let me say, for example, you probably stuck in the way of like looking at things in just one trajectory. That one person that would come along and be like, bro, I know you've been doing it this way. It probably didn't work. Let's look at it that way. Yeah. And if you're not concrete on your ideas, like, I want it this way, that one step can change how things look at the brand, and people can look at it like, all right, this shit is moving forward.
Yeah. That's facts, man. That's facts. I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. Like, you have to.
But definitely people need to own shit too. Because
you should definitely.
One of the things in our community, we don't own shit. So that's why when I see these young guys and girls doing things, I just think they just need to work on it more, build a team.
Yeah, build a team. You know what I mean? Build a team if you have the.
Reach out to people that don't just grab someone because they're lit.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Build a team. Somebody that's actually gonna put in the work. Somebody that wanna do it. Somebody that actually passionate about it. That's what you build your team around.
Right.
I agree.
Like, people that would get on your nerves, hit you up every day about it, be like, damn, chill out.
Right.
But then sometimes too, bro. Like sometimes too. You know, as much as you said build a team, fuck a team. And yeah, I know you're looking at like, what do you mean? But listen, because some people are in this position where like all they have is themselves.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? Like, we can say like build a team, yes, do that. That's definitely good. But also if all you have is you, then that's what you got. Work on that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Develop it, work on it. Like,
no, it's like if all you have, you start. That's why you say you said it first. You start from somewhere. But in the long run, you're gonna need a team.
Oh yeah.
So it's like
facts.
Starting from somewhere. I started by myself, getting my first design, doing everything. You're always gonna start from yourself, but it's like you need a team. Like it's like I'm personally like saying it from experience, or even looking at every trajectory of branding. You just need a team. If you're selling ice cream, if you're selling food, like even when you go to restaurants. It starts from the cooks to the general manager, to the busboy, to the dishwasher. It's like a whole chain of system.
Yeah.
So it's like you have to have a team. It's just that's what business run. I think one's a lot. It's certain business that you can do by yourself, but certain business you can't. You can start by yourself. Yeah. Which is like putting ideas together, like a portfolio. Like this, is what I want to do. Yeah. And let me launch it on my own. I got the idea where I want to go now. Let me look for people that can work with me. Let me get accountant. Let me get somebody that can do graphic design that's really good at it, so I don't have to like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Let me get somebody that can run after A and B for me while I'm doing this. Right. So that's all the team is about. Like it's not.
So with media, like you going into media, right? Like with media, do you need a team? Like tell it what are some like challenges you're facing right now with that, if any?
So like how I said, I take pictures. Yeah. So one of the challenges for that is trying to get my work out there more. Okay. Like
get your work seen.
To get it seen more by people. To just like, man, like just more people to just see my work and just like appreciate what I'm trying to put out there. Because I know a lot of people do photography, but like with mine, like I want my shit to just like. When people see my photography, they know like shot.
So what are you doing right now? What are you doing right now to get yourself seen? To get yourself, like Ahmed just said, you need a team, you need to get connected, you need a community. What are some things that you would tell people out there who are maybe a person who's a freshman and wants to be in media, or a person who's a sophomore and wants to be in media? Because right now at Ball State, you're an OG, right? You're a senior, right?
Right.
So like, what would you say to the youth, like people?
Yeah. One thing I would say is just like stay consistent with like your work, because like consistency is very important, especially in like media. Because you could take pictures or just do content, but if you like fall off, like people might forget you, because content is always being put out like every day.
And you using the people on campus, like looking around and seeing if somebody good at setting stage, somebody that's good at makeup, or someone that's good at styling. Because you behind the camera, you get to capture everything, but you need those people around you. Because let me say, for example, you hit up Yappa like, oh, I'm trying to do a shoot with you Saturday, but I have this idea. You need a team.
Like a creative director.
Yeah, you need someone, because sometimes most of the time the guys behind the camera just take the shot.
Yeah.
So you need somebody that's gonna come be like, oh.
But for me though, like I don't want to just take the shot. Like I also want to
get involved,
be a creative director. Like I want to like direct a photo shoot. Okay. And take the photos. Yeah, that's dope. And edit the photos. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that the people that I took the pictures of could be satisfied. And like, I did all that. So now me doing all of that is, now I got a good name to them. They gonna put me out there more like, he did such and such for me. It was dope. He did all of it. Yeah. Rather than just me having someone do one, like everybody just playing their role, I could just like put it all in one. You know what I'm saying? Like full package type. Yeah.
And you've been in the major since your freshman year, right? Like you.
So when I first came into Buff State, I came in undecided. I didn't know what I wanted to go to school for, but like I always had I always liked like photography and just like content. So I was like, yo, why not just go to school for that and keep learning more about it? Because I was like, my mom was like putting pressure on me to just go to school to like be a doctor. Like, you know, what regular African parents would want their kids to do. But
expectations, man.
Yeah, I didn't want to.
If you're not a doctor or a lawyer, you're a loser.
Yeah. I didn't want to fall into that. I wanted to just like create my own lane. Something that a lot of people in my community or like African community ain't really like doing for real. So I was like, yo, let me just go to school for media and I'm gonna just be, cause I'm creative. Like I got a creative mind. So I was like, yo, I'm gonna just do some ill shit. Like, and catch everybody's attention for real.
Okay. Are you currently a mentor to anybody as far as like a freshman, sophomore, junior, you know what I mean, in your at your school? Or anybody that wants to be in media?
Not really. I'm not really like a mentor, but like a lot of people do like are like photographers, like early, like fresh photographers coming in, they'll ask me like what cameras should I like grab or
so you are a mentor indirectly.
Like indirectly, but it's not really like I'm not really giving game like
I mean you are.
You are because game.
No, you are it's game because if I come to you and I know nothing about cameras, right? Or I know nothing about as far as like which lens I should use to like, you know, shoot this video and you give me that's game.
Yeah, that is game.
That was a little mentorship right there.
True.
Within that moment.
Yeah, maybe I might inspire one of them to go grab their first camera.
Yeah, I think everybody's an inspiration to somebody, man, regardless of like what you do. You know what I'm saying?
True.
So I think you're definitely inspiring people that are around you, and you're being inspired by them as well.
Yeah.
Which is a good thing. That's dope. You know what I'm saying? So Musa, where did you get the inspiration from, bro? Like to do like I know. So you went from you did Fresh Dogs. And now we're at this stage where, I mean, you're up. Good taste, man.
Well known in the
town. Good taste, man. But we know it didn't happen overnight.
Nah,
you know what I'm saying? Good taste is like, you know, it's out there. It's doing well. I love it. Yeah, you know, I wear it all the time.
I'm wearing it right now.
You know, where did the influence come from? The influence, where like, just run us through that. Like where.
Man,
you just kept going.
Just through my work itself, like doing stuff and seeing everyday people, like what everybody's doing, and people that I'm inspired by too on the internet. And
thanks.
I think, to be honest, it's mostly my love for fashion itself.
Right. So you gotta love it.
Yeah, you gotta
love what you do.
Like, you gotta love it. You gotta like dive into like. Don't just think you have to know your shit.
Yeah.
Like in the sense of like referencing. Just like people before you that done it well.
Yeah.
And you just like the Pharrell, Nigos.
Yeah.
Kanye's and.
But you're a prime example though. You're a prime example of what I said earlier as far as like you can be sitting on gold and you don't know that, right? So you started Good Taste during the pandemic.
Yes.
During one of the worst times in the history of man, right? And this beautiful work of art, this beautiful like expression, right? Clothing line, creatives, right? Come from like during that time you was able to do that, like, and like that's what I'm saying. Regardless of what's going on, you can find something beautiful in it, right?
Yeah, I think so, like, because like you said. You can find something beautiful in anything. I was in the space of like my old brand, which is Fresh Dog.
Yeah.
I got stuck and I was tired of doing the same thing, trying to figure a new way out.
Yeah.
To do different things. And personally I always look at myself as a tastemaker.
Yeah.
So I was just thinking about things and that ran through my mind because I always wanted to do something different from Fresh Dog, and I was like, you know what, we're just gonna start this. We're not gonna wait because if we keep waiting, it's never gonna get there. So I just came up with the name, Good Taste Gift Shop. The first actually tangible product for Good Taste was socks and boxes.
Socks and boxes, man. I always said it. It's one of my favorite things.
Yeah, I did the socks and boxes. We sold them, and I reached like I reached out to my partner Timmy, and I reached out to Pope, and we just sat down, had a quick meeting, and I was just like, yo, I want you boys on the team.
That's fire, man. That's fire.
Because I saw like every one of them, or like Timmy potential, what he could bring to Good Taste, Pope potential, what he could bring to Good Taste. It's just like just looking at people and seeing like the value they can play in the brand and stuff. So that's what we did, and we've been going.
That's fire, man. That's fire. And I know there is more to that story, but we're gonna touch on it as this podcast continues to air. So you have to stay tuned if you want to hear all these stories and all the like nitty gritties and all the, you know what I'm saying, all the little facts. Because one other big things I feel like for me, knowing you, right, and loving the brand, I feel like it was a milestone. You guys were able to have a pop-up in the city during Fashion Week.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes.
I didn't make it. I wanted to.
I didn't make it either.
What?
It was.
What's next?
It was. I think low key. I'm just airing it out here. I think that's something we're gonna keep as a tradition, like every Fashion Week.
You heard it here first, man. Yeah. Listen. So you're telling us on the Neighborhood Couch podcast right now, right? You're telling us, Tim. You heard this, man.
Yeah, I'm hearing it.
He is saying that every Fashion Week we should expect
a pop-up.
To have a pop-up, hosted by Good Taste. Listen.
Yeah.
I think we're just trying to have a new scene, like, because
that's fire.
Normally we just do everything in Buffalo.
Yeah.
Right.
So it was just like, and not majority of our fan base is New York City.
New York City,
I think Good Taste is one of the Buffalo brand that's started in Buffalo that have a bigger following out of town than the city itself. Like, people do buy stuff from Good Taste in Buffalo, but majority of our followers come from out of town.
That's fire, man. That's good to know, man. That's good to know.
I like it because I don't want to be locked in a box.
Yeah,
but
true.
I'm telling you, like, Buffalo have some of the best supporters when it comes down to everything. I think every one of my brand people from Buffalo show me so much love because I'm one of the people that start a brand in Buffalo that don't have a long line of family in this town.
That's true.
So it's straightly based off the work itself.
Right.
Yeah,
people loving the clothes. People loving. I'm not loud on the internet. Like,
you know what? That's cap.
No, that's not cap.
That is cap, bro.
No,
that's cap. You're not loud on the internet. You ever been to his Instagram page? His Instagram?
Yeah, but
you allowed with your fashion.
Yeah,
come on, man. You allowed with the fashion.
I'm not talking in that sense. The fashion always
you allowed with the fashion.
The fashion always gonna speak because it's a part of me. Like, it's my everyday aesthetic. But I'm talking about in the sense of I'm not the nigga on the internet writing 24/7 trying to like be this guy about things. No, I put my work out and let it talk for itself.
Yeah.
Or just I don't even post. To be honest, I could post every day because I dress every day.
Yeah,
that's facts, man.
Every day, so it's like we really not loud on the internet when it comes down to that. Like, so I feel like I think we spend most of our time like just trying to like work. Like, if George hit me up or writing me, it's about something like what we're gonna do. Like, what is this? So it's like even when I'm talking to you, I'm talking to you about ideas. So it's like, I think that's what's helping us a lot because we just still focus on the work than being loud on the internet.
Yeah, man. If you're watching this, listen. That's game right there. You know what I mean? The guy's having his pop-ups at New York Fashion Week every year now. So that, you know what I mean? Like, it just shows that you can take something from anywhere and take it to heights, man. You know what I mean? Build a team, like you said. You know what I mean? Surround yourself with the community, with the people that are doing similar thing. You know what I'm saying? Similar things.
But talk to them, G. Let them know what you got going on, man. Don't leave it all on our back.
Man, like me? No, I don't. You know,
so busy, man.
I'm a little busy. I'm just a little busy.
Yeah, you're one of the most busy people I know, for real.
Just a little bit. I would say a little bit. You know what I mean? I have a little bit of everything going on. Right. You know what I'm saying? So keeping it moving. Yeah. You know what I mean? Keeping it moving. I'm in real estate, so you know what I mean? I'm always like, people don't believe me when I tell them, like, yo, I work labor work. Like, I be gutting houses, you know what I mean? I be having dirt all over me. Like, that's why I get these facials
every day.
Right. That's why I be having to get these facials, man. That's why I be having to do these self-care, man. Cause I'm always like, heavy labor work. But I love it, man. I love what I do. You know what I'm saying? It's a blessing to be able to have the opportunity. Buffalo gave me the opportunity to be able to, create something and and just keep building on it. You know what I mean? Working with my boy Musa. We're working on a few different things right now, which y'all gonna find out later on. You know what I mean? And we got Timmy in here. We cooking up, man. We cooking up. That's what we're doing. We just here to inspire. You know what I mean? We here to give advice, to give inspiration, to give ideas, to spark your brain. You know what I mean? To challenge you. Right. I mean, that's what we're here for, man. And because that's what we do every day.
Yeah, give out the right information.
Yeah, that's our life. So, but as far as you, Timmy, like, what's like? I know what's next in a way. Like, I know you're gonna graduate and like you said, you might. Did you say you might leave or you're gonna?
So I'm gonna stay. I'm gonna stay. But like in the summer coming up, I'm going to Seattle.
You're going to Seattle,
see my dad. Also I applied for some internships out there. In the
okay,
summer
internships.
So
okay.
I'm waiting for them to hit me back.
Yeah.
But I'm like after college, honestly, I'm gonna just get into like freelancing. I'm gonna step into that freelancing world and see, cause I got a few my homies that graduated last spring. They be hitting me, telling me how shit going for them, and I'm hearing good things. They met a lot of people during their journey, freelancing, traveling. I'm trying to travel and work. If the opportunity comes. But yeah, that's the next step for me, honestly, after graduating college.
So what advice would you give to like a kid who comes to Buff State, freshman year, knowing he or she wants to go into media, right? Like with everything you know now, what would you say? What are like one or two advice you would give to them, like that they can
So coming into Buff State?
Yeah, let's say they're coming into Buff State. They want to be in media. They know this is what they want to do. But they're new. Like what would you tell them to do? Like what two advice or like words of encouragement you give them?
So I would say don't be afraid to meet new people, like network.
Yeah.
Because me coming, I was a little shy. I didn't really speak to a lot of people.
Yeah.
So networking and like put your work out there.
Put your work out there.
I feel like I'm still kind of like young, but I feel like I started a little bit late, but there's more work to be done for me, But as far as like if you're coming in as a media production major at Buff State, I say network, because there's a lot of creative people at Buff, not even just like students, like professors, like they just be giving game, like they have connections, they know so much people in the industry, like just like network, like I be texting I text my professors like personally, like numbers. They be FaceTiming me, all types of shit. Like that's like I got tight with them through like just meeting them and just being open to them about what I'm trying to do. So I would say like if you coming in at Buff, like network, don't be afraid to meet new people and put your work out there, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? So
and don't be afraid to use your environment as because that's all you have is your environment, right?
Exactly.
So like you said, don't be afraid to meet new people. You know what I mean? You might not have a whole lot of work because you're a freshman, but like don't be afraid to create work. And like you don't have to go to Switzerland or Paris to create work. You can literally create work on campus by taking
the students around you.
Yeah, by taking pictures of like whoever is on campus, like, you know what I mean? So that's fire, man. That's fire. How about you, Mr. Good Taste? What's some 2 words of like encouragement you would give to anybody who wants to go into fashion, or anybody who's thinking about like starting a clothing brand right now in Buffalo before we close out?
Look for the right information. 1.
Yeah.
2, key in on your work.
Key in on your work.
Key in your work by learning different ways and different avenues to like grow your brand.
Yeah.
It could be clothes or whatever brand you're trying to work on.
Yeah.
But I think mostly just stay focused. Stay focused and talk to the people that you can learn from. Right. Don't be scared to talk to anybody that you can learn from. Just don't go where the hype is. Just talk to people. The person might not have a lot of followings because nowadays everything is based on followers. Yeah. The person might be low key, but some people know how to reach down better than others.
True.
And I feel like you reaching out to someone that know how to reach down and they can really like give you that knowledge that you need, because right information is more than anything. It's even more than currency. So when you have the right information, you move the right way.
Right.
Yeah, there you have it, man. You know what I'm saying? You got the You got the words of encouragement. You know what I mean? Take it, run with it.
Give them words of encouragement too.
You know what I mean? Oh man, listen, man. Like, never, man. What would be my words of encouragement? I would say, you are great. Mm-hmm. If you feel like you are great, you are great, and don't let anybody else convince you otherwise. You know what I'm saying? Listen. I felt like I was gonna be I felt like I was the greatest landlord in Buffalo before I even saved $500. You know what I mean? Because like I was the greatest landlord when I first came to the United States, and me and my mom lived on Broadway, and our landlord was so nice to her, and I was like, I want to be like him. Right. But you are everything you believe that you are. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't let people, change your mind or discourage you. Go after your dreams, goals, and ideas, and keep pushing every day, man. Yeah, but hey, we're about to get out of here. It's the Neighborhood Couch. It's my boy Musa. It's my boy Timmy. Catch us on the next one.
Catch y'all on the next one, man.
You know what I mean? You can find us on YouTube. You can find us on Instagram. YouTube page coming soon. But, every day, man, we're going to be here. If you want to pull up, just DM us, right?
Yeah,
send us a quick DM, email, or whatever. You know what I mean? You can pull up, man.
We're going to make it happen for y'all.
That's it.
Yes, sir.